Hi, this is trepacer, and this is my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 19. I didn't do it last night, but I watched it today at work and finished it watching at home when I got home. Okay, this episode is called The Only Light in the Darkness, episode 19, and this one begins with I believe this guy, with a guy walking, one of the guys that escaped from the fridge. You see him walking. Actually, well, you don't know that yet, but as you see a guy walking down on a pier, and he asked a guy for a ride, I think, to Seattle or Portland, I forget which one, but he asked the guy for a ride, and the guy said, listen, I'm not going 2,000 miles out of my way, okay, but it's not going to happen. And then the guy cuts off his boat, and they said, that was a neat trick, how'd you do that? And then the guy touches him, and he kills him, literally by touching him, and we'll call this guy, I guess, the Blackout. We'll call him Blackout. Okay, so that's how episode 19 opens, and then we go back to the bunker where everybody is, and Coulson is figuring out that, Ward is explaining how, basically how it went down, and how he put two in Garrett's head, so at least Garrett's dead, but, he basically released all the people from the fridge and got a bunch of toys. So Coulson decides, listen, there's a lot of dangerous people stuck there, so we got to go capture them. And specifically, when this one particular character, which was the character you saw in the beginning, Mr. Blackout, he said, if he's out, he said, I know where this guy is going, because he was obsessed with this one particular lady. Okay, so I'm going to take a team. It's going to be me, Triplet, Fitz, and Simmons. We're going to go try to stop him because we know where he's going, more likely where he's going to go. So we're going to go there and stop him. And Agent May wants to come, but Coulson is acting pissy towards her and says, no, he's still not going to fix the plane. Okay, we're going to go. And meanwhile, Sky and Ward are, with Peyton Oswalt's character and things. But he said, before you go, there's going to be a test, a lie detector test that Fury invented, a special chair that'll, and you basically have everybody get in, and it shows different sequences of them asking questions and stuff. And one of the most interesting things were you found out that Agent Triplet is the grandson of one of the Howling Commandos, Derek Luke's character in Captain America, the first Avenger. Okay, he said he didn't want to reveal his name, just to, he wanted to earn his stripes. Anyway, and then, of course, Ward is last. They say Ward for last because, of course, he's Hydra. So basically, they start asking him questions, and then they see, Peyton Oswalt's character sees his answers start spiking the machine, and he actually pulls out a gun on him, and basically Ward is able to finagle by actually telling the truth that he is there for Sky, basically, which made me roll my eyes, but that is the truth. He's there to get Sky to get her that, hack the information that they need, that him and Garrett needs from the hard drive. So that is the truth. So he passes, and Peyton Oswalt's character buys that he's in love and that he came for Scott. Okay, yeah. Okay, meanwhile, they do, like I said, Coulson asking pissy to May and tells her she has to stay. Okay, and then they head off. And now May is basically, May and Ward have a conversation where basically he tells him, listen, I'm going to go because Coulson doesn't, trust me anymore, and there's nothing more for me. And Ward kind of agrees with her. Basically, he tells her, "Listen, I know you were following orders," but see, this works out for Ward because he has to do for what he has to do. With May not being there, that's so much the better. Okay, so she leaves. Okay, and now we go flash to Seattle, I think, right? Seattle, where the Cellist lives, and you see her jogging in the street and getting ready to run, and played by Amy Acker, who's a great actress. And you see the guy, Mr. Blackout. He starts approaching her. She sees him in the streets. Of course, she starts to panic. Then a car pulls up in front of her and opens the door, and it Fitz. Not Fitz. I'm sorry, it's Simmons. And she tells him, "We're CIA. We're here to help you." And she gets in the car, and they take off. And then another car pulls up with Coulson and Fitz, and they release his little droids towards Mr. Blackout, and they seem to work at first, But then Coulson confronts him on the street, and he basically tells him, "Listen," he recognizes him and said, "Listen, that place, they experimented on me. They just, they experimented on me." He's angry, and he said, "Listen," and they made me stronger. And then he basically, blacks out the droids and block out the street lights, and he's gone. Okay, so then commercial break, and then we come back, and then you have a little scene of Sky and Ward. Sky and Ward. He's basically telling, opening up to her and telling her that, when he told her that story in an earlier episode where that his older brother was, torturing his younger brother, and he's trying to defend him, but this time he tells I think the true story that his older brother forced him to beat up his younger brother. Okay, and he basically gives her the song and dance about how she makes him better and all this yada 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 stuff. And basically, Sky says, "Listen, we can hack the NSA." She tells Peyton Oswald's character, "Listen, we can hack the NSA satellites, and then we can see who exactly came out of the fridge and maybe who helped them." And at first he doesn't want to do it, but then Sky with her special magic convinces him to do it. And of course, Ward has to think fast, because if they get any footage, of course, it'll be him and Garrett breaking into the fridge, okay, and killing the guards and stuff. So, meantime, you see, at the same time they're back in Seattle, you have the Sellers telling Triplet and Simmons how how she at first how she met Mr. Blackout. She noticed him coming to her concerts, and at first she was flattered until she saw him outside of her house, and of course then she got scared, and then S.H.I.E.L.D. came, and Agent Coulson came, and then she she does a song and dance about how brave and everything else he was, and yada yada yada. Okay, and of course Coulson is listening with Fitz at a discreet location. They're listening. She's saying these lovely things about it, and everybody's finding out, about the real relationship between him and the Sellers. And Fitz tells him, "Listen, you should reveal yourself to her. She still feels the same about you." And he says, "No, I can't do this because I can't stay. So let's just protect her." And Fitz says, "Listen, I can probably stop this guy, but maybe we can use her as bait to." And of course, at first Carlson doesn't want to do it, but then he kind of relents, and he decides to do it. And he has Coulson and he has Triplet and Simmons tell her, "Listen, you'll sit here in the concert hall and start playing, and that'll draw him out, okay? And then we'll be at the discreet distance, and of course once he comes, we'll be able to stop him, okay?" So while that's going on, of course, like I said, while Sky's hacking the NSA feed, Peyton Oswald's character comes back and tells Ward that, "Listen, she's done it. She actually did it. She hacked the feed." And then you see Ward turns around and says, "That's good." And then he slides the door, and then you come back from commercial break. No more Peyton Oswald. And meanwhile, Sky discovers a little blood on, after they kiss again, she discovers a little blood on Ward's neck, and he said, "Oh, I must have reopened one of my cuts." And he goes to the bathroom to clean the blood off. And then, of course, Sky immediately starts looking for Peyton Oswald's character. She said, "Wait a minute." She has this tracker thing. "Oh, there you are." And then she starts looking for him. At the same time, in Seattle, while the Sellers is playing, you see that Mr. Blackout, he's coming, and he basically stops and tells her, "Listen." He apologizes for frightening her, and he said, "Listen, I know I'm a monster, but you can save me." And then she stops playing, and then he freezes, and then she starts playing again, and then he starts to come down. And then you go back at the same time while she's playing the music. You see Sky searching for Peyton Oswald's character, and then she finds him. I think she sees above it. She sees the blood dripping down, so she knows he's dead. And then she knows that only Ward is there, so she figures out he must be Hydra. Okay, and of course she goes into full panic mode, and she's kind of hiding, and you see Ward looking for her, calling out her name, and then we switch back to Seattle. And they come out when Mr. Blackout is moving towards the stage, and they come out, Triplet and Simmons, and even Fitz. They blast him with these blasters, which seem to work at first, and then he blasts them away, and he keeps coming and coming, Okay, and then of course Coulson comes down. Everybody's knocked out, and he starts blasting at him. Then everybody else gets up, and they concentrate the blast on him, and basically he explodes, and which knocks out the cellist. Okay, she gets unconscious, and then Coulson approaches her when she's unconscious and said, "You'll be safe now." And you can see she's semi-unconscious, and she kind of hears his voice. And then, of course, he exits stage left, and then Simmons jumps right in there when she wakes up conveniently, and tells her that this. And she tells her, "Listen, I thought I heard Phil's voice." He said, I guess she said, "I guess I want to hear what I want to hear," and then yada yada yada. Meanwhile, this guy was just totally freaking out that Ward's at Hydra, and then she actually comes out and basically fakes it, saying that she was kind of freaked out, but she's not freaked out anymore. And she kisses him again, I think, and then he tells her, "Listen, what you call it wants us in Seattle, so we got to go." And she said, "Well, don't we want to say goodbye to Peyton Ulster's character?" She said, no, he's going to open up the runway for us. Okay, and they basically take her. She actually goes with him. Okay, at first I thought she was going to maybe knock him out or something, but she's playing it smart, I guess, trying to figure out exactly what his end game is. And they go off, and they get on the bird and take off. Meanwhile, Coulson, Triplet, and oh yeah, there's one other thing. There was a moment before they left where you can tell that Fitz is getting actually jealous of Triplet with Simmons. And I guess he finally admits his feeling. He has feelings for her, and Ward actually gives him some advice. Tells him, "Listen, life's short. Admit if you want to tell her something, tell her something. Tell Simmons something." Okay, and he said, I think he makes some joke about small joke about that Ward not being Ward. Okay, and then I think Ward says something smart after. He said, "Oh, that's the Ward I know," and then they go. But anyway, meanwhile, you see May walking. Oh yeah, before that, you see Coulson, and everybody comes back to the bunker, and the ship is gone, of course, and then you see the ship flying off with Ward and Sky in it. Okay, and then we flash back. We see Agent May, who's walking literally down the street, and then you see a car pull up, and the door opens up, and of course, and then that's her mother, and you figure out from the conversation that's her mother who picks her up, and basically she tells her, "Listen, did you get the information?" May tells her, "Did you get the information I wanted?" She said, "Yeah, I got it." And she said, "Yeah." She said, "You're not going to kill her, right?" She said, "No, I'm not going to kill her." And then she gives her the information, okay. And she said, and basically she said, "Good, because I like Agent Hill, Maria Hill." Okay, and then it goes off. Okay, and that's how it ends. This episode was pretty good. Like I said, you have Coulson meeting us. We get to meet the famous Celis that was mentioned in the Avengers. Okay, and you got to see Ward beat the lie detector test with some convenient half-truth lies. Okay, too bad for Peyton Oswalt's character; he's gone. Okay, strangled by Agent Ward. And Sky now knows that Ward is Hydra. Okay, and you have Agent May leading the team and going to look for Maria Hill. Okay, which is another great. Oh yeah, and one other thing before after the mission was over, Coulson realized he was being a dick, and he said, "Okay, listen, I'm gonna make up to May. I'm gonna apologize to May." But it's too bad. May's gone. She's on her way to look for Maria Hill. Okay, and it looks in the previews. I think it was Coulson, not Coulson. I think it was May, not May. Some May. Sky driving a car, and then you see, I think Deathlock jump on top of her car and punch through the window. I think that was Sky that was driving the car. I have to look at the previews again, but I think that was Sky. Okay, anyway, that's my review. This episode was pretty good. I have to give this episode, the Celis stuff, was okay, but I like actually the Ward and Sky thing was interesting. I didn't know how they would play it, but like I said, she kept her cool and didn't panic, and didn't. I thought maybe she's gonna try to hit him over the head and run, but that would have been a stupid thing. But at least they let her go with him, I guess, to figure out his plan. I assume that's what's going to be. But now Coulson and them are going to be looking for them, and I assume they're going to find Peyton Oswalt's dead body, and figure, listen, it had to be either Ward or Sky, or not Sky. Sky's too perfect. She would kill Peyton Oswalt's character. So either it's got to be Ward. Coulson got to figure that out eventually. Okay, so we'll see where. I think we got a couple episodes left to figure out where this goes. But again, I'd give this episode a 7.8, almost an 8, but a 7.8. This is pretty damn good. Anyway, let me know what you think. Sorry for the delay in the review, but it's here. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is trepacer saying so long and take care.